On, guys. So we're going to break down some stuff today. This is going to be a fairly long video. I want to get some stuff out there so people can understand what the courts and the cops and the legal system do to you. It should be very informative for most people. A lot of these things are they're not known very much. Now, when people go to law school, for example, the first year of the 8 years is really for testing. And what they'll do is they'll ask the common law question, for the people. And then they'll they'll have answers that are for the commercial U.S. system and the legal system. And if during that year they tally it all up and they say, well, you're for common law and for the people, we cannot use you. You're not going to be an attorney. You're not cut out to be an attorney. So the deck is starting to get stacked against you with the first year of law school, so to speak. And then they start teaching you the things that they need to know and all the trickery and all the instruments and procedures and BS that they're going to use to trick you to make the securities to make money. It isn't about crime, really. There's a hidden reason. It's about money and their banks. And they do securities. They violate all kinds of things, and they're foreign to the men and women of this country. And it's a Ponzi scheme that's really perpetrated against the people. Now, when you go hire an attorney, if you go look at Corpus Juris Secundum Volume 7, Section 4, and I've said this many times, the attorneys, the lawyers, they do not work for you. That's because they do a leave to proceed document that gives up all your rights. And for example, some of the things that they'll do, they'll sit there when the prosecutor does something and they won't object. Like, for example, I know a guy that was driving a pickup truck that had tinted windows and you couldn't see who was driving. When he got to court and went to trial, they rolled the windows down and they showed the jury the truck. You could see right in the truck. And then they said the cop knew the guy that was supposedly driving the car that was running from them and that he saw him, which was a complete 100% lie. Now they don't do lies, they do assumptions and presumptions. So they got it off, he got convicted, he got 3 years for running from the police, and the police never saw him. The vehicle wasn't in his name or anything. So when they get you to take an attorney, you give up all your rights. They know that you have no education. So they take away whatever rights they can take away from you, like to object or to put in motions, proper motions at the right time, or to call witnesses and things like that. They'll forget, or they'll have different strategies that won't really consider your rights at all. And you're there and you're thinking, well, my lawyer's going to kick their butt, when in reality, he doesn't work for you. So they go on and on and on, and they'll argue about little things to make it look like they're really doing it, but they're playing a game because they already know that when the court case started, the person with the satchel or the briefcase that came in 30 minutes before the court and went in the side room outside the courtroom door, met with the prosecutor, and they took out insurance on your case. Check it out anytime you're near a courtroom and you got to go to court. Someone will show up, a man or a woman, with a briefcase or a satchel, and they'll go in a side room, and you're thinking, who is that? Well, that's the person that's taking out insurance with the prosecutor in the back room. I'm just saying. Don't take my word for it. So as you go through these things, They act like they're playing courtroom. They are actors. They are foreign agents that do not have the proper documents at the Department of Justice, and they're foreign. And if no one complains and you don't request or require that FARA statement and the anti-bribery statement, if you don't require those things, then you give up the opportunity to object about that person being a foreign agent, and they're allowed to pull all these tricks on you. So see how the deck is getting stacked more and more in their favor? It honestly doesn't matter if you committed a crime or not. If you didn't respond properly to the documents that they set forth, like the discovery or whatever they might give you that you need to dispute, which is everything. If you don't dispute it, and they say it to you 10 times and you don't dispute it 10 times, well, these magic things that they have set up, you acquiesce or you agree or you consent, whatever word you want to use. It's a reversal type thing, or a reverse psychology to get you to sit there and be quiet. And then you've agreed by being quiet. I mean, there's many, many, many more principles about these things that I'm telling you. Now, so then when you go to pick the jury, first off, you and the prosecutor are on the same plane. That's all that really counts. And then you got the juries up here. Yes, 6 and 6 is not 12. It's 6 jurors and 6 jurors. In other words, you're supposed to have 12 jurors of your peers, but the prosecutor will pick 6 and you'll pick 6. Well, there's another disadvantage because the prosecutor's picking people that he wants, okay? You only get to pick 6. Actually, you keep quiet and your lawyer picks it. They all work together. This is all a Ponzi scheme. So then when you go to court, they make it look official. Everybody that gets up on that stand puts their hand up and they swear in. Y'all have seen the movies where they swear in. Why don't they ever turn to the judge and say, okay, judge, go ahead and swear in? Why don't they ever show the prosecutor over there swearing in? Why isn't any of those people swearing in? Why doesn't the jury have to swear in? Okay? That's because the only people that are liable are the people swearing in, and honestly, it almost doesn't matter, because if you've made an agreement with the prosecutor and you haven't responded properly, fully, and completely, then you've agreed that you've committed the crime, even if you didn't do the crime. It's not about a crime. It's about how much money are they making on the back end of this. I promise you it is. So when they don't swear in, they're not liable for anything. They never determine evidence. They never prove anything, but yet the jury can say, yes, that person's guilty, because the prosecutor, he doesn't bend the grass when he walks on it. The jury will believe that, why would he say that if this guy hadn't done it? Okay? And they do such a theater or such a job, like it's a theater and it's acting, that these people in the jury, they've never been committed of a crime. They probably never even got a speeding ticket. These are people that believe in God, flag, and country, and that's okay. But the problem is, that's not reality. The police are big liars. They'll stretch the truth. Even in one guy's case, they was chasing a guy, and he ran past some people, supposedly, and they said that he could have hit those people. They were in their garden. But it was February. It was cold out. There wasn't nobody outside. There wasn't nobody in a garden. But the jury believed that he could have hit these people, which never existed. I'm just saying. They get these skills in law school, and then they learn that they can get away with everything, and nobody's doing checks and balances, not even the IRS. Unless you do the auditing process or the whistleblower process against the court, which takes 6 months, unless you do that, there will be no changing what's going on. Their Ponzi scheme has been working for years and years and years. Now, go investigate this. Don't believe anything I'm saying. Check this out for yourself, and my number will be listed below this video. Please do not waste my time. Please do not call me and try to teach me anything. I've pretty much understand a lot of things that most people don't understand. When people call me, they're telling me stuff that I heard 30 or 35 years ago. Okay? This is information. This is not legal advice. But think about these things before you get in trouble or you get into that car and drive without no tags. This is going to cost you a lot of money. And I've seen it ruin people's families because you think in the law in your state, your Ohio Revised Code where I live, it says you're allowed to really drive without a driver's license. It says that it's for commercial. But go out there and try to do it one time. You'll find yourself with a fistful of tickets and big fines and probably go to jail and lose your car and all kinds of other things. It's all set up for you to be aggressive against them so they can monetize the things you do, the things you don't do, and the things they do for you. If you don't believe this, check it out. I'll talk to you soon. I hope you enjoyed the message. I'm sorry that it was so lengthy. Have a great day.